What's up guys, NepentheZ here and welcome back to another episode of the Draft to Glory. In yesterday's episode, we ended up drafting a 189, which is my joint highest rated draft, but it was an exceptional draft that we wiped the floor with everyone with. In today's draft, guys, I'm tempted to go for the 4-3-3 defend. Give us a chance to get Mbappe, give us a chance to get Kante, and Modric and Ronaldo and Messi, and then the defenders. So that's what we're going to go with. We're going to go with the 4-3-3 defend. Very similar in some regards. Ooh, Neymar is going to be. Very similar in some regards to the 4-2-3-1. You know, you got your two CDMs. You got your kind of like right wing cam, left wing, almost as those three cams. Not quite, but you can see where I'm going with it. Up front, guys, we are going to get... Now, striker Tovan soft links Neymar, which would be great. It's not the worst card either. Good stam. Ooh, poor finishing. This is a good card. Like, the one half of me says take Tovan because he links to Neymar and would also link to Mbappe. The other half of me says just like get Aubameyang or Aguero. They're both absolutely sensational players. Let's go for something a bit new. Let's go for something we don't normally go for. And guys, if you are enjoying Draft to Glory, drop a thumbs up on the video. Let's try and smash 5,000 likes. And now I am going to take Luis Figo. I've never used him this year in FIFA, and he has got a very nice card all in all. So we get Icon Figo there. So now if we could get Kante, team of the... It's not on this one. Unlucky. Do we even have a French league player? We do. And he's Brazilian. So Thiago Maia. Now, as far as cards go, this is awful. That is an awful card. I'm not even going to try and explain any goods out of him. That is, yes, there's Kante. That's what I wanted to see. One of the best players in the game for me. Funnily enough, the first draft that we used Kante, and give me that Modric game. Yes, the first time we got Modric as well. Let's go. The first time I used Kante in draft, I wasn't best impressed with him. Since then, I've got to know how to play with him a little bit better. And he's been amazing. And now we get two Team of the Years. I need Marcelo and Ramos. They're just very, very important. Oh, God. I'm going to take the Spanish guy. Because if I can get Ramos here, I'm not getting Ramos here, am I? Koscielny's okay though. Koscielny hard links to Kante, which is very... Oh my God. EA, stop doing this to me. Stop giving me these absolutely woeful defenders after giving me like insane attackers and midfielders. In at the right back slot, we get... Valencia's quite nice. Probably the best. Or alternatively, I could take Juanfran and play him on the other side. Or I could swap around Kante and Modric, which I think would probably be best. Let me take Juanfran. Let's swap around those. That gets up to 77 chemistry. We're one midfielder away from getting Modric to 10 chem. Rakitic would be ideal. Kovacic would actually be spectacular. In goal, we're going to get a decent enough goalkeeper here. Just kidding. That blue, I guess, isn't very good after all. We will get a Spanish goalkeeper at Dan, though. He's got the Shield Chem style, which boosts him up to 99 kicking, 94 reflexes, and his speed. Probably the worst Chem style in the whole game for a goalkeeper. I don't know why you'd ever need it. So, early days. Our team's looking okay. We need to improve the left back, the centre mid, and our defence, really. Well, basically, our whole back line needs to be improved. Oh! I mean, De Gea would be literally perfect here, but you can't not. You just can't not take Cristiano Ronaldo, especially when he strong links to Luis Figo. We could take Neymar out. We'll get somebody else in there. Probably like an Eden Hazard that we're about to get. We didn't get Eden Hazard, but we did get Van Dijk. Would I prefer Van Dijk? Or would I prefer Cancelo? Cancelo doesn't even fit. I'm going to take Van Dijk. Obviously, it's not Team of the Year, Van Dijk. And also, obviously, if we started Tovan, we would get much better chemistry. That's 3 Team of the Years, EA. Give me another one. Come on, make it 4. Not 4, but Pjanic. Pjanic is okay. Pjanic is okay. I'm going to take Pjanic. We're going to pop him in the midfield there. We're going to take Tovan off, Ronaldo on. It's only 87 chemistry, but it's an exceptional team. We need a better centre-back, better goalkeeper, and we just need someone to link. Like, I'll start a placeholder instead of Neymar and then sub him on. Or alternatively, I could just start Alexis Sanchez. That works too. This team is actually looking all right. That puts us up to 93 chemistry. A Premier League left back would be really, really nice at this point. Even like a low end one. Ooh. All right, so if I take Spinazzola gets 10 chem because of Ronaldo. If I take Daniels, we get a massive chem boost, but he's extremely low rated. That does put us up to 97 chemistry, however. That's a 91 rated squad with 97 chem. That's pretty cool. Having the 299s in there is obviously massive. We're not getting a good goalkeeper. Let's take the glove chem star. We'll pop the glove onto Adan in a second. Come on, don't... Yeah, ooh, Robertson. Man. Robertson is good because... Robertson is good, but he's not good at the same time. And I know that doesn't make sense. Alonso is pretty decent. We could play Alonso and Van Dijk, actually. That would be much better. That would be much better, because Alonso would give Kante the strong link. That would be way better. Alonso in there, boom. Van Dijk in here, boom. And that's just much, much better. Now, Van Dijk's only on 7 at the moment. How would we need to get a 10 chem here? Premier League manager from the right nation is going to be necessary to get the 10 chem. But we still got 5 picks to go. Oh, God, this is another low pick. Andy Robertson is sick, though. Would I prefer... Now, I'm going to take Inform Robertson because he's got the shadow. We lose chemistry by putting him on, which really sucks, especially if we're going for that 190, if we're trying to get our first ever 190. Thomas Partey doesn't help for chemistry at all, but is the highest rated, and so will be picked. Pastore as well, but, you know, we got Kante, Pjanic, and Modric in our midfield. I don't think we're looking for new midfielders. Next up. Ooh. Casemiro. Casemiro. Douglas Costa is all right there. Aside from the fact that once again, Kante would lose chemistry. We would get... I would have to put Koscielny in. If I put Koscielny in and Costa in, we would get 100 chem. And then it would come down to the rating. If I took Casemiro, I don't need Casemiro. He just doesn't even fit the team in any way. I've got to take... or if I just want to bank on the manager. No, I've got to take Douglas Costa. So we're going to put Douglas Costa in. And then we're going to put Laurent Koscielny back in. That gets us to 99 chemistry. And an 88 rated squad. Now we can make... We could change afterwards. I just want to get the initial like 190 if it's there. If the 190 is there, I want to get it first. And then we can move on to changing afterwards. So our penultimate pick here. Oh man. That is exactly what I needed. 92 rated Eden Hazard goes in. And I think now if we bring on Van Dijk here... No, not in goal. Van Dijk here. And Robertson here. And then put the goalkeeper back in goal. That's a 190. I just need a good last pick. Right, let me sort out. Do I even care about chem styles? No, I don't. Let's just leave it. Our last pick. Is it going to be a big pick? I think it's enough. I think it's enough. Yes! It's my first ever 190. Let's go! 99 Ronaldo, 92 Hazard and Figo up front. Kante, Modric and Pjanic in midfield. Robertson and Van Dijk are solid. To be fair, David Lopez has got good defending and physical stats. Not great, but good. Juan Fran is okay. Adan is going to cause me a lot of issues in this draft. What do I need for a manager? Premier League or Serie A? This is a 3-league hybrid as well. So what do I actually need? Yeah, Premier League... Serie A or La Liga for Modric. I don't think we're going to get anything out of any of these, to be perfectly honest with you. French I don't need for Kante. Yeah, I think the Dutch, I think Philippe Cocu is going to be the one for us. And we get, guys, our first 190 draft. I am absolutely delighted with that. 299 rated players in the draft. if I don't win, if I don't at least get to the final with this team, I must have played against an insane player, because this is a really, really, really good draft. Yeah, that's the end of the draft, guys. Let's get into the action. Okay, guys, as we get into the gameplay, the first opponent we come up against has a 4-1-2-1-2 team with Team of the Year De Bruyne and Van Dijk. And outside of that, a pretty weak team, to be perfectly honest with you. Carroll, who he subbed off for Gareth Bale. He's got the informed Salah, that's a pretty good card. But this team that I'm playing with here, it's a good team, man. As you can see, and you'll see like throughout this draft here as well, I'm really trying to add 2 new styles of play to my game, so I'm not one-dimensional, and it's actually going to cost me some games as well. So, you know, I kind of don't expect to win as much as I have been doing whilst I'm trying to learn these new 2 play styles. The first one is adding crosses into my game. Since I got George Best and the Champions League or the Team of the Year nominee Gareth Bale, I realised how overpowered crossing was. I've never had this available to me before. I've tried crossing throughout the course of the year and it hasn't really worked out well for me. But since I had those 2, I really kind of started to figure out and understand what cross is important from what angle, you know, and how the players interact with the crossing. So that's one thing that I'm adding to my gameplay. You actually saw me score from a cross in this game. The cross itself didn't result in the goal, but the ball bounced loose after the cross, and I got the goal from there with Pjanic as we get a rage quit in the first round. And the second thing that I'm going to be doing a lot of practice on this week is adding skill moves back into my game. So I used to be a skiller back in FIFA 11, FIFA 12 and FIFA 13, and that kind of died down a little bit during 14 and 15. And then now I kind of just use meta skill moves, you know, the La Croqueta, the hill-to-hill flick, whatever it is that might be overpowered. But there's actually a whole bunch of really strong skill moves in the game this year that can allow you to get angles for finesse shots before your opponent can react to moving the keeper. And so whilst I'm going to be trying those and trying to get my muscle memory to have those as an instant thing, not as something that I have to think about, it's definitely going to be one of those things that does cost me a few games. However, into the second game, another nice team that we came up against. We get Modric here on the edge of the box, little ball roll there, a few step overs, finally get into the space with the La Croqueta. I was gonna cross that there, but Hazard was there for the easy shot. My opponent was moving his keeper, so I just drilled it at the goal. I don't know what happens when you move the keeper, but if you shoot at the goal when somebody moves the keeper just kind of forgets how to play. And then from another cross, guys, we score the goal of the event. An outstanding bicycle kick from Ronaldo. It reminds me a lot of Bale and Ronaldo's bicycle kicks in the Champions League, which was quite nice. And then Ronaldo here again, lovely little few skill moves. You can see here I'm trying to do something and it's not coming off. It eventually works in the box. I don't know what that's called. It's a Neymar move. It's kind of like a drag flick. I don't know what it's called, but it didn't score with Ronaldo. The ball fell to Kante, and eventually I got the goal for 4-0. This guy started kind of just like sliding around, so we cut that back for a 5-0, and that sends us into the semi-final. So a nice performance in round 1 and 2, a 4-0 win and a 5-0 win, taking me through to the semis. Of course, in the last draft we demolished it and we've carried on that great run of form. However, into the semi-final, this is actually a really good team. De Gea, Hierro, Walker, amazing. Modric, David Silva, Hazard, Bale and Firmino, amazing. The only downsides to this whole team is Mendy, Stones and Barkley, but even then, they're not bad players. They're just not great players, you know. But we ended up getting the first goal here. Ronaldo with the driven shot across the goalkeeper. It falls to Eden Hazard, who manages to squeeze that one home for 1-0. However, it wasn't long before my opponent got back on terms, and I could tell in this game that this was a really strong opponent. He knew how to play the game very well. You know, you can see by his composed passing on the box here, he knew how to do finesse shots, the time finesses. He was moving the keeper. He knew the skill moves. Like, he was just a really composed player. So it was going to be a really tricky game, really difficult game. 5 minutes after he pulled it back to 1-1, we get in the box with Cristiano Ronaldo. Again, a lovely little bit of skill moves in the box, drag backs into the space for Modric, who shoots and scores to make it 2-1. And then this is where the game kind of turned for me. I got a bit triggered here. I go through with Modric. He throws me to the floor and no foul. And then just 5 minutes later, he goes down the other end and pulls it back to 2-2 with Gareth Bale. You can see I'm being aggressive with Van Dijk there. And again, aggressive with Van Dijk, and that's my fault. I've conceded the goal because I played stupid. You know, I played really aggressive, and because this is nothing to do with my opponent. This is to do with EA, because Modric got thrown to the ground there, and I didn't get a free kick for it after what I thought was a goal scoring opportunity, let alone just a chance to score anyway. or, you know, a good counter, I started playing so angry because I was just frustrated with the game, and I shouldn't have let it bother me, because after I got frustrated with the game, I got a red card with Van Dijk. I played well into the second half. I kind of like regrouped at half time and played really well, but with only 10 men for the whole second half, it was always going to be tough, especially against a good opponent, and he ended up edging the game 3-2. So that, guys, is going to be the end of the gameplay for today. The 190 team couldn't get me to the final. Let's get into the packs. Okay, guys, so there you have it, a semi-final loss. I lost my head a little bit in that game. Quite disappointed in myself, actually, because although that guy was a strong player and arguably had the more complete team, I don't want to say he had a better team, because I don't think all over he had a better team. You know, my Kante, Modric, Ronaldo, Figo, Hazard are beasts, but I think my bad three players, being Adan, David Lopez and Juan Fran, were worse than his bad three players, being Barkley, Mendy and Stones in defence. But he was just a good player. He created a lot of chances. I created a lot of chances. And after that Modric incident, I was just like, what is this game? I got angry at the game, and it influenced my play. I started dragging my centre backs out of position. I started playing really aggressive because I felt unjust. Like, you know what I mean? I'm 2-1 up. I've got a clean counter attack. That could be 3-1 against a great player that would have been as good as, not game over, but it would have put me in a really commanding position, and I get cheesed out of it. And I shouldn't have let it bother me, but I let it bother me, so that's where we are. The guy came back, obviously against 10 men, ended up edging the game. But it was fun to play with the team. I had a lot of fun with Ronaldo specifically. He is such a great player. We get the worst reward for the semi-final again, the premium gold pack and the jumbo premium gold pack. I never get the 25k pack and the 15k pack for losing in the final, like, ever. But let's see what we can get, guys. You never know what you're going to get in these packs. You know, we don't get a board there, but we do get a shiny gold player. It is going to be Gulam. That's actually really not bad. An 81 rated Napoli player. I don't mind that too much. Obviously, any Premier League players right now would be worth it, because they're selling for a bit. What squad fitness is at right now? Are they? Wow, they're up to 1,200, 1,300. You could have bought these for like 700 during Team of the Year. Oh no, still 1,000. I suppose that's actually not that great. But that's our first pack. I'm actually going to discard the contracts. I have so many of these and I never sell them. Even though they do sell, there's always just better things to sell. Then last but not least, guys, our 15k pack. Can we get any luck out of this one? No walkout. Is it going to be boards? No boards. It's going to be a shiny player though. It's going to be Claudio Bravo. So a Manchester City player. I kind of prefer the mid-range Premier League players, the 82s, 83s, which obviously we're not going to get here. We get Mina in there as well. So Bravo right now, not really selling. Mina probably not selling, but a whole bunch of players. Albrighton might be selling, actually. No, not 800. I suppose that's okay. We've got a lot of players in here, which isn't too bad, guys. Would we make profit off of this draft? Long term, probably yes, if we sold these when they were really, really relevant. But just off like what we've got here, we probably didn't make all that much coins. Maybe even a little bit of a loss. But that, guys, is going to be the end of the video. If you did enjoy it, be sure to leave a like, rating, comment, and subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. But for now, guys, I'm out. Peace.